Why are we laughing?
We all stopped.
What's so funny? Like, come on. Why are we like everyone's so fancy? Yes.
Are you ready? Hold on.
Your hair looks fine.
But it's, I'm seeing it. It's like,
I know. Well, we are now live in the interwebs. We're now broadcasting live to the YouTubes.
So I think what's very critical for all of us is to remember that we are streaming on YouTube. So now we can literally tell our children that we are YouTubers, and that got my kids to shut up.
Whoa. Is that the proper term? Do we have the proper term? Is that, what are we going to say?
I don't know. That's what they call it, but I don't know.
I think a YouTuber is someone that actually...
Right. You gotta be cool, kids. Now, you gotta have.
So I'm totally not cool. They claim I am. They lie to me pretty regularly, though. I have teenagers. What can I say?
I think to be a YouTuber, though, you have to like make money on here, and that is not. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. So you guys are looking fancy. It's like just. Is this for me or is this because we're This is the first episode of Analysts After Work?
We're trying to pretend that this is what we look like when we're working from home right now, right?
Whereas
I have like my good cameras up here, and we will not discuss what the rest of my home office looks like because it's also a spare bedroom, which looks highly inappropriate. Let me tell you.
Oh, that's what mine is too. That's what my office is. It's the basement bedroom.
Yeah. Oh.
So, anyways.
I got my green screen.
I didn't get my green screen. I'm gonna have to get one. But okay, whatever. Important things first.
Okay.
What are we drinking?
Okay.
Hot tea.
Okay, but Jamie, it's 10 a.m. for you. Like you get a pass.
It's
Jen?
3:00 for me, and I went out with. You did not hear my son yell, "Mom, you left your Bloody Mary on the kitchen counter." First of all, I'm pretty sure he knew it was a Bloody Mary, but I think the only reason he knew that was because I was going, "Where's the Bloody Mary mix?" Because I have a really good dill Bloody Mary mix in the fridge.
All right.
We're contemplating moving, and so we have been packing things very oddly. I could not find anything to put into the Bloody Mary. So there's currently a Bloody Mary mix in a cup sitting on the counter. So instead, I grabbed the ice wine and champagne from the other night.
Oh.
So apparently it's a very Canadian thing. I don't know, Vince, you might need to tell me a little bit more about that. And
ice wine?
It's a gigantic glass. It's only filled up like this, which is kind of...
Yeah, that's... Anyway, so ice wine, ice wine is a dessert wine. Like you wouldn't have a glass of Jamie, you're good. Like, come back on. You're cool. It's fine.
I'm laughing at the screaming child in the background.
No, I know you're good. You're good. My kids are like right above, and any minute now they're gonna start running things on the floor and like so. It's.
Oh, I'm waiting for this door behind me to pop open with one of them going, "Mom, I need a sandwich."
Yeah. No, this is real. Like, this is an hour of just real. So. So an ice wine is intended to be like a dessert wine, almost like port, but not port. So, you would like sip it out of a glass, like maybe this size.
Exactly. And the other night I had a small glass, but my little tiny glass is in the dishwasher from the other night.
Right. So I'm rocking. I polished off a bottle of Cavassier today that I've had for a couple years, and I just have never finished it. So this is, ladies, first of all, to hopefully a successful episode of Analysts After Work, but to the end of my Cavassier.
There we go.
Salute. So what's going on? What's going on in the world?
Question.
Well, I'm in Minnesota. Yeah. And so we have two of us from the U.S. and then
hold on, Jen, you didn't say it right. It's first of all, you know what? Maybe we'll introduce you guys. Jamie Champagne, Jennifer Batten, welcome. You guys are awesome. But now you're from Minnesota.
I currently live in Minnesota, yes.
Minnesota.
And, I am not born and raised in Minnesota, so I still usually pronounce it just simply Minnesota.
All right.
I was born and raised in Nebraska. We do not make Nebraska jokes. I don't handle those well. It's just like all of the jokes about whatever place.
Wait. You're originally from Nebraska?
Yeah.
I was born in Nebraska.
See, I think we knew this, but where in Nebraska were you born?
I was in Omaha, though. See,
and I was right outside of Omaha, and I usually just say Omaha because when I say the little suburb that I was where I was born and raised, I was literally born in Omaha, and my dad is still living in the house he and my mother purchased, and I had my first birthday, and my dad is still living there. My mom has passed away, and so they're still living in the same place. They still have the same phone number, all of that stuff. Which kind of cracks me up a little bit. So I went to Papillion La Vista High School for any of you Huskers out there. And yes, I am a Husker. I am not.
Go Huskers.
Yeah. I mean, and those of you in or around Nebraska, Vince is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I mean, college football is a thing. And it's like.
It's not here. So, I'm empathetic to that. Like, you know, and Jamie, we've talked about how big University of Hawaii games are. Like,
For Hawaii. Let's be
for
Hawaii,
right?
For Hawaii. Whereas here, like university sports aren't a thing.
Yeah.
Like so I went to York University in Toronto. And I think the year that I graduated, or maybe the year after, they changed the name from the Yeomen or the Yeowomen to the Lions. And like it was like, yeah, whatever. No complaint. Like I can only imagine we're gonna change the name of Nebraska from the Cornhuskers to the Wild Stallions.
Yeah.
And the state would lose their mind.
No. Well, and technically, I mean, like if we really went back in history, there is plenty of history about even before, because now they go by they're just simply the Huskers. Very rarely do you hear true Nebraskans call themselves the Cornhuskers.
Mm-hmm.
There's still corn involved, trust me. But yeah, I'm a total Husker fan. You know, it's really funny. I'm now a raving Husker fan when it comes to Husker football. And I have been told that I'm not allowed to watch Husker football games with the children around because apparently mommy swears a lot during Husker games, which I did not do when I was younger. And I was in the marching band in college, so we could go into that at another time. Oh my God. Just I was on the color guard. I went to when Nebraska was winning back-to-back national championships. I was at those games. Mm-hmm. And lots of fun. I highly recommend, you know, I tell all the high school kids I know if they're in marching band to stay in marching band through college because it is actually really fun and great stuff and all that sort of thing. But now when I watch, and I was like, it's a game, but I'm here for the band. And now I watch games, and the kids imposed a swear jar at one point, and apparently if you yell the F word loud enough, your fifth grader or fourth grader at the time will tell you, Mom, that's a fiver.
Yeah. Oh my God. So my wife gets like that, but only every 4 years during World Cup when Spain is playing. So that's when the passion comes up. So just for my Canadian misinformation, what is a Cornhusker?
Somebody out there is.
Or is that a whole other episode? Like, do we need to do I need to have you back on at some point so we can talk about what a horse?
Yeah, I'm going to need to do a little bit of research to give you the proper history, but understand that Nebraska is pretty good 50% corn and soybean farms.
Okay.
A lot of corn.
But it's not because you don't know.
It's not. Okay. I want to give the proper history.
I see.
Tell you when it shifted from bug eaters to corn huskers, because yes, that was a thing.
Bug eaters.
Yeah.
You're dating yourself, Jen.
Okay.
I was never a bug eater. Oh my God. Like not even my parents were bug eaters. It's like way back there.
All right. Well, there you go. Okay.
There you go.
What's going on with you, Jamie?
Me, I'm laughing because it's like I see all these comments. My favorite thing is all the comments about work from home. And I'm like, how long have we had technology? It's like the people, like you said, the technology innovations. And I'm like laughing that I've been way more active on LinkedIn and like just commenting and wanting. And I'm like, oh my God, I am passionate about this going, guys, it's not the end of the world. It's like a small little shift. And I'm like going, wow, like how many people just really have not done this?
Yeah. It's freaking people out. In one of my previous roles / client kind of situations, I worked with teachers And so heavily into the education area. And here in Minnesota, we just got the word of essentially a shelter in place kind of a lockdown where they're trying to really buckle us down for all of the virus stuff. Yeah. And even before that, my kids are off school last week and this week with distance learning supposed to start on Monday. And oh my gosh, I am in so many groups hearing people just going bonkers. I have their parent, all of a sudden, like, teachers are valuable. Duh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had just, let's be honest, duh. And because there are people who are trying to figure out what am I supposed to do with my kids and teach them and ensure that my kids are doing their schoolwork when my boss also expects me to work.
Yes. Oh, there's not going to be a teacher, like there was a teacher strike that was just resolved in Ontario. There will not be a teacher strike for, I would hope, for years, because I think
whatever they want.
All the like they are not paid enough. You know who, like, police, fire people, teachers, paramedics.
Shout out to my paramedic friends.
They are not paid enough. Like, they need to be paid more.
Do you realize how critical function doesn't equal like pay, but like, you know, that we have non-critical doesn't help society, doesn't keep things moving, and yet they have the highest pay scales. Those things that you can't live without, and you'll be the first one to complain when it does do that. You're like,
yeah. Our perception of value, this is where we turn into the BAs, right?
Right.
Like, our perception of value is so skewed.
It is.
Like, oh, okay, you went to Nebraska University, and you know, you have an MBA as a Cornhusker, and I'm gonna get the entire state of Nebraska after me.
You guys,
and like, oh, you get to be the senior vice president of communications. And like, you know what? You work in a grocery store. And now those people are like, who's laughing now? Who's more critical now? Like, we actually don't need more MBAs. We need more BAs, but we don't, cheers to that.
Yeah.
We don't need more like, we need to support these people that are doing these jobs that we cannot do without. And we're seeing that now. Like, we've never had something of this magnitude, and I think this is really this should change our thinking about value in employment.
Well, even mindsets here, I was cracking up because my university I teach at, we went to all online, you know, and we come back, we had spring break, is like, okay, all online, okay. So, you know, they're like, I'm setting up, I'm like, hey, you know, Blackboard has this tool involved and it records and it integrates. I'm like, cool, I want to use that. Let's use that one. You know, and you know, people are emailing me which tool are we using. I'm like, just through Blackboard. I put the link, just click the link at class time. We'll do it. I got a whole class all online with video, no problem. The first time we tried. Now, granted, I only did one assignment for this week, and we took all 3 hours to do the one assignment. Once we figured out stuff. Yeah. But it was even the mentality. I know how to use Microsoft Teams. I know how to use Google Hangouts. I've never used this one. Well, let's use, which one did I use? I used the one I never did before. Why? Because perfect opportunity.
Of course. Because if you screw up, no one's going to say you suck.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
entirely.
You have to do this. Like, they expect, oh, you're running a webinar. You should know exactly what you're doing because you're running the webinar.
Well, but here's the thing. That is like a critical thing that I talk about. And I know you and the three of us, you guys, honestly, if anyone has ever seen us ever at a conference before, understand that we get together for dinner. We get together and we do this. We talk like this. We talk about work. We are nerds.
Yes.
But Jen, that was the idea here. Like,
totally, but I mean, we're not acting. This is totally what we do. So my point is that I'm like pointing at you on my screen. There you are. but so when I go to conferences, one of the things that I talk about is don't let the fear of trying something you don't know hold you back. No. So like, there are teachers out there that are freaking out. Oh my God, how am I going to do a meeting with kids? What are we going to do? Yeah. And I'm like, you're going to put in a link and your kids are going to click on it. And then the kids are going to go, Mom, am I allowed to let my microphone and camera access this application? Yes, it is, because you trust it and you click it. Let mom and dad set it up. Do a test one, do whatever. So when we, we all teach classes. We all go to these conferences, and it drives me crazy because it used to be me. Let's be honest. I'll pick on myself. It used to be me. I'd go to conferences and I have books. I have books and books and books in the shelf right there. And I have notebooks of notes from approaches that I learned in a conference or a workshop that I took or whatever. And I'm excited and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this back at the office. And then I get on the plane and then I go home and then I read the emails and I'm like, oh crap. I don't have enough time to try this, or what if I fail, or what if it takes longer? I'll just do the thing I know instead of the thing I learned because I'm lazy, let's be honest. And just stop, because if you let the fear of trying it hold you back, then why did you go to that learning opportunity anyway? Right? So I think we're just seeing that in real time, and it's just crossing in such a weird way. Because we've got people who have never had to, like, I think I posted something at one point. Have you always wished that you could work from home? And now all of a sudden you get to, and you're like, but
I can't wait to go back to work. Like,
yeah.
and I think you might be the introvert of our bunch. So the fact that you're saying that is kind of telling.
Well, so Canada got a bit of a head start on the lockdown.
Very true.
So I have not spoken to another adult other than my wife in 13 days.
No,
in person. No. So this was, well, I'll give you a little bit of background. I tried something at work. We were doing, and this is without giving too much away. We were trying to work on, building engagement. I had this idea for this show where I would sit one-on-one and just grab a coffee and chat with people in this program that I was working on. And I called it, because my recording studio was this small studio, was this small meeting room that had a massive whiteboard. And so I called it Dry Erase Coffee Place. And it was just like a camera set up. And so for whatever reason, and it doesn't matter, I stopped doing that. But without that, there would be no this. So this is the idea of just like, we're just going to get together. We've booked an hour. We don't have to talk for an hour. Let's just chat, because I like you guys. I'm glad you agreed to be on the show with me. And we're just chatting. So it's not that I'm super bored. It's not that I'm, just looking for adults to talk to. I just thought this would be kind of cool. Here's one thing that I thought, and I've suffered, and I'm sort of coming to terms with this. I thought, oh man, I'm going to be in the house for weeks. I am going to finish the book that I'm writing right now. And it's been 14 days, 13 days, whatever. I have not written one word.
Oh, it's hard.
I cannot focus. So with everything that's going on, and if for those that are watching this, down sometime in the future, we're in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Like, I cannot find the motivation to actually work on my own projects, mainly because I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that's going on, and then trying to balance the demands of work that seems to think everything is going to run exactly the same way that it did at work. And it's that push and pull is taking its toll.
Which doesn't that all just kind of come back to the change management aspect of what has to be going on, because we have to adjust our expectations. I mean, I'm seeing, like, talking about kids having to do distance learning, so I have 4 kids. I know I'm insane. But I have one in high school, and I don't have to think about her. I mean, she's upstairs studying for an AP exam right now. Right?
I'm sure she'd love to hear that. I don't have to think about you at all.
But she knows it, because literally I'm like, yesterday was her 16th birthday.
Wow.
Mazel tov.
Well, I mean,
that's hard,
turning 16 in a quarantine is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Her friends.
Yeah.
Her
See, Ben,
friends,
I went there. I went exactly there.
Oh, man.
When you say congratulations, I'm going, no.
Because
well, I mean,
so she's supposed to take her driving test on Monday the 30th. So it's March 25th today. So she was scheduled for the first possibility of an exam that we could get, because it's wicked difficult to get a driving test, a road test here in Minnesota. We scheduled it. The earliest we could get was March 30th, and she really wanted to do it on her birthday, whatever. We couldn't. So it was supposed to be the 30th. She was supposed to have her final driving school, like driver's ed, behind the wheel lesson was supposed to be Monday. They canceled all of that. All of the behind the wheels are canceled. So she still has one left. So technically she can't even, if the government offices were open, she couldn't go anyway because she doesn't have the card that says she's completed driver's ed. But that girl is upstairs right now studying for an AP exam that's still going to happen. She's got 2 AP exams she's going to take. She's been chatting with her friends. And I mean, like, our teenagers are going to survive this because they are so super connected. Her best friends, she's got there's a gang of 5 of them. So my husband got Abby out of the house. The 4 girls and a dad came over and decorated the front lawn. And then the girls went in the backyard. Oh, they put signs on the patio door from the outside, but then put streamers over it so we couldn't leave. And they decided that 6 feet apart was not the appropriate social distance and demanded 10 feet. And they recorded a TikTok and posted it. I don't get that whole TikTok thing, but
I have an account. I still haven't figured out how to use it.
Oh, I'm afraid.
I don't dance. It might be like a minute of this.
Right.
Well, see, you haven't set an hour of your time to go play with it, which is what, like you say, about having the time to do things, learn new things.
Try it.
It's pick 30 minutes in a day. I'm just going to goof around with this. And if I get the hang of it, I'll go for 35, 45. And if at 30 minutes I don't know what to do and I'm throwing it out, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee and we'll go do something else. You know, it's, to me, that's your book, though, thing. If you sit down and nothing's happening, what do? This is the work situation. We tell people to keep working. You know, I sit for 10 minutes and I'm not even productive. Yeah, go refill the cup. At least you're productive then, right? We finish off a bottle. We're successful.
I finished mine.
Yeah.
You did something today.
I did. I did.
But that's all it has to be, though. And I think that's like the part about the work is they see an 8-hour time block.
Right. And so, yeah, it's one thing because so there are parents like freaking out on Facebook groups saying, how much am I supposed to homeschool? And I don't know that I have to pull it up so I can see it because somebody posted, I showed it to my husband and I was like, I can't decide if it's funny or hilarious. And it's time spent in homeschool. So here's my little phone. I'm going to read it to you because it's like, how long should my child spend on schoolwork? Pre-K, junior kindergarten, 20 minutes a day. Kindergarten, 40 minutes a day. Oh, it gets better because so we get down to it's essentially adding roughly 20 minutes per grade level to how much time. So by the time you get to 12th grade, you should be spending 4 hours and 40 minutes on schoolwork at home. Why? My husband's like, okay, so an 11th grader versus a 12th grader needs 20 more minutes. I'm thinking it depends on, there is so much of an it depends about this that it's absolutely ridiculous because I'm looking at, so I've got a 16-year-old 10th grader who's taking AP classes, high placement classes. She's crazy smart. But at the same time, she's also super motivated and a straight A student, and she wants to do her schoolwork. We have here in Minnesota, we've had 2 weeks off where there is no required learning for my kids. She's been doing homework the entire time for fun. I'm pretty sure. My 2 middle schoolers, I have,
that was me. Come on.
We've got geeks at my house. I always say it. I've got a middle schooler.
I'm a nerd, not a geek. I'm a nerd.
That's true. Yeah. So Daniel is an 8th grader and they have enrichment stuff that they can do. And Daniel's pretty motivated and he'll do his work. He'll get it done, but he will also be speedy and quick and just make it happen. And that's it. None of the extra stuff. Dude, he understands minimum viable product like you have never heard in your life.
There you go.
He's like, and now the next kid, Nick, okay, first of all, Nick, I love you, baby, but he does not like school. And if he can get what's below minimum viable product? What likes minimum, but not quite viable, he's there.
Oh, I love that. Minimum, but not quite viable.
Right. No, because he'll get it done. And
best crap available.
Yeah, it's like just enough to say I did it, but
passable is how you can.
Passable. There you go.
Right?
It's passable. Yeah.
And my little guy's 5th grader, and they're still trying to work out what's going on for him because the others have like school equipment and stuff like that. My little guy, we have to go pick that stuff up tomorrow, but he has been reading. He's like, Mom, I would like to learn to code. And I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. He's been doing touch typing lessons.
All right.
Because he's like, this will help me later in life, Mom. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, I remember when I was like that. I remember when I believed in things and did things, and I don't know. I don't do that anymore.
So
I have other things that I work on. I just like to the idea of I'm going to learn how to code. No,
yeah.
no, like no, not now, not now.
I can hear him. He's in another room, just like there's a little like my front door is right here, and then there's another little room, and he's in that other room, and he's doing a speed cube for Rubiks Cube. Like I should totally come on again, and we should have Ben. He can currently solve a Rubik's Cube. He broke his most recent record. He can do it in 1 minute and 11 seconds.
I say you showed me a video of that. That was insane. Like
it's like little fingers, like it's flicking around, and you can't even see his fingers moving. It's crazy. And now he found some simulation that I think my husband found for him that is a 4-dimensional Rubik's Cube, which is mind melt. Yeah. So like,
how does that even work?
So it's computer simulated, and like there's and every time it turns, instead of just seeing a different face, you see a whole new cube.
What?
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not smart.
What?
Yeah, we're all like,
This is like Sudoku level 8,000.
We can do other things. We have talents in other areas.
We do other things. That's right.
Yeah.
We do. So, Jamie, I have another weird. So, partially, this kind of gets to work. Well, but it gets to a work question. But I mean, so I understand. So, Jamie is in Hawaii. For those of you who don't know. And I have been. I think we've all like you live there, but Vince and I have not visited you personally, but I have been to Hawaii, and I've always thought about and heard about things like supply chain and how easy it is to get stuff. And so when those of us I don't know how Vince is at, I mean, everyone's talking about the damn toilet paper, let's be honest. But like seriously, but it comes down to value chain and supply chain and some of this other where is value, because I mean, the governor of Minnesota, I was literally watching his 2:00 Central Time, address where he's announcing this lockdown, and he's talking about essential services, and he's, talking about shifting stadiums into potential hospital facilities and stuff like that. I mean, stuff we never thought we'd hear in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, dude, I'm like practically landlocked. I know it's not really, but like I'm in the mainland, but I'm a little worried about Jamie. Like what kind of stuff is going on? Like I'm not hearing about you. So what's it been like there as far as just like general supplies and stuff, and like in the pandemic?
Yeah, no one knows about Hawaii, so it's the
you're tropical. You're happy.
Yeah, you gotta be fine. They've been adamant that our shipping supplies are not going to stop. They're keeping schedules. Their pieces. Like it's funny how many people on the island know what day of the week Costco is restocked at night, so that they're all there the next morning, in line at 7 a.m. So they know which day shipment's in. Like, there's still routine here, people. I mean, we still get shipping. Like, I remember hearing more stories when I first moved here, and there was a union strike with the tugboat workers. So all the ships were sitting offshore of the island, and there was no cereal in the shelves on Kauai because it was all sitting on the ship. So until the ship could get the tugboat to pull it into port, you weren't getting cereal. And it's interesting how reliant we are. It's actually been a bigger deal with the hurricanes. It's like people are stocking up here for a hurricane, but it's like you have running water and electricity. It's not like the same mentality. Yeah. I guess there's two parts here I thought was interesting, my observation. One, we are an industry based on tourism. And when hotels shut down and the governor tells people, don't come. Right? Those are, now you're like going, okay, guys, this isn't just stay at home, be safe. It's a bad flu season, guys. Like this is something serious here. And then what's worse is then they show the picture of Waikiki Beach and all the tourists just not within, very close, hanging out, and right? It's a beach. You can't get sick, kind of thing, mentality. The part, was actually really interesting to me, the part where it was just like, what a mentality shift. was I got an email from the local co-working place, to where you can rent workspace, have conferences, impact hubs, kind of. I know some of those are chained, but they sent an email and they said, according to the governor's law, we are essential business place because if we shut down, the people who use our services would technically go out of business because Hawaii is so much small business owners. So much of the economy is small business owners. So they were staying open with certain precautions in place and certain structure changes and policies, etc. But they were to remain open because according to the definition, and what an interesting interpretation of business rules, right? Like,
sure.
Acceptance criteria is here. You want to be a nerd? I love this, but they said according to that, we are considered essential. Therefore, we will stay open and we will, offer services to keep our customers, getting the value they need. So whatever that services was, we're going to still support that, but within the confined constraints, like you say, we can take this so many levels. But I love that email because it made me sit there and think, okay, what's essential? Your value chain question, not just supply chain, but value chain, and what's needed to deliver it. I was like, that really just kind of went, I was like, wow, like business analyst overload right there, a business analyst. I'm like,
right, exactly. And that
what a concept.
So for you guys, and maybe you just answered it, Jamie. When did it become like? When did you get concerned? Or are you concerned? Like, what was the thing that was like, oh, I guess this is pretty serious? So, like, for me, it was when the NBA shut down, and when hockey in Canada shut down. Like,
I have Canadian friends like on Twitter that are just like,
like that. It was like, oh my god, like they would play. Oh, there's a blizzard. We're playing.
You're Canadian. It's a blizzard.
A couple years ago, there was a bout of mumps that was going through the NHL. Like, players were just getting mumps and being out for weeks. It's okay. We'll call up kids from the farm team. No problem. Like, we're still playing.
Right.
But this is like, when that happened, it was like, oh, okay. I think this is serious. So what was that moment for you guys?
I know for me, to be perfectly honest, it was the interesting part because Hawaii is always lagging in our business, in our response, in our, like, even our flu cases, we're just always lagging because of our isolation and mentality here. I think a little bit of culture on the business side, but that's a whole nother story. But to me, it was like, guys, we need to start taking notice. When my nephew, who does college on the West Coast there in Oregon, was sent home and told not to come back. When at spring break, he was coming home and was not going back. I was like, you're kicking kids out and you're not sending them back. Like, wait, this is a big deal. And then when I think because it came right at the same time, the NCAA said the college basketball getting canceled. I'm like,
oh yeah,
March Madness, like in March Madness, spring break. Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Well, sealed the deal on the money thing when this is Walt Disney shutting down. That was going to be. But to me, when I saw that, I'm like, the world is seeing something we're not responding to. And sure enough, give a couple of weeks, our governors and local started then locking things down.
Which, I mean, is another great case study in handling change and being adaptive, and not just non-agile. It's about adapting because, I started paying a little bit closer attention when I have some friends who are, there's a university that I teach at, and I have a friend who is in Boston. They used to be here, and she has a kid that goes to MIT, and they were saying that they were extending spring break and telling the kids who lived on campus to clean out and leave as if they were never coming back or not coming back till fall. And when she started talking about that, she's a health compromised kid, which is actually how we know each other. And I started paying a little closer attention. But one wake up was when the governor of Minnesota closed Minnesota schools for 2 weeks. And my wake up call was really about, I'm not a food hoarder. Do I have a stocked pantry most of the time? I have a family of 6. I try to not let the pantry go bare. Can I dig through can I find something to make for dinner almost every night? Probably, but at the same time, we've been trying to work our way through some of that. So I went out, I had to go out, and I did. I went to Costco. I was like, I can't believe I'm going to do it. But I mean, because I knew there were going to be 5 of us. I knew all 4 kids were going to be home with me for 2 weeks. And at that point, Nathan was still going to an office during the day, but now we've all been home. And I was worried about food stuff. But today, the news, some of the headlines today kind of freaked me out. Let's be honest. Have you all heard about the Waffle House index?
Yeah.
Waffle House closed 365 stores.
Yeah.
And so Waffle House is incredibly well known. And you can like Google the Waffle House index and they will talk about this, that there are, and I'm totally misquoting. I know it's a thing and I'm going to misquote what it's about, but they do red, yellow, and green. Green is when Waffle House is open. So like during hurricanes, especially in the South, because that's where Waffle House is, what's the response? How bad is it? Is Waffle House open? If Waffle House is open and their supply chain, their people, like there are people on social media talking about they're about to release these tough, like gritty, get shit done kind of people out into the world because they're closing down Waffle House right now. 365 locations are being closed, but they would use that index. They would say, you know, how's Waffle House keeping up and are they open and that sort of stuff, because they can handle, they've stayed open through hurricanes.
Right. I mean, casinos are closed.
Oh yeah, Vegas.
Like in Vegas. Like I read a thing where like I think it was the fire chief or the police chief in Clark County was like, when we run all of our training and our simulations, it's with casinos open because they cannot afford to close for even a minute. If they close for a minute, they lose revenue, and now they're closing for weeks. Like this is another one of those holy crap
that's
moments.
a big deal.
What I'm more interested in though is, Jen, at Costco, how many people did you punch in the face?
I didn't.
Oh.
I did not punch anyone. I had a shopping list because so what had happened, and I mean, like, this is the level of planning that goes into my life, right? I always say I'm not a project manager, and these two are going to laugh at me because they know me well enough to know, oh yeah, totally. But like, I go super planny when it comes to some of the home stuff. So I remember that Monday morning. So Sunday we heard from the governor that Wednesday was when the schools were going to shut down. Our district went ahead and closed right away. And I opened the fridge that morning and went, yeah, this is not going to go well. So I'm like, I got to go to the store. And I literally texted my husband and said, all right, so if we're going to have to stay at home, what do we need? I don't want to stop on stupid stuff. Yeah. I don't want to.
Well, you didn't need 8,000 rolls of toilet paper?
No, I had found a large pack of toilet paper the week before. Thank goodness. I was on a quest for paper towels, though. There was a moment where there was one roll of paper towels in this entire house. And remember how I said we're thinking about moving? Did you know that if you decide you want to clean your house and you don't have paper towels, that becomes an issue, right? I mean, oh my God, I just can't even go there. I did end up finding enough paper towels. I'm okay. But we had just some other weird things happen. I was able to find, but like my list was, we'll eat rice. We have other stuff that we eat with rice.
Yeah.
Soup.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, I got to get some junk food. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make everybody healthy. And I can't get a bunch of produce. There was not a jar of peaches to be found anywhere. I went to 3 different stores looking for jarred produce. Now I prefer jarred over canned. It just tastes better. But I couldn't even find canned stuff. But my kids laughed at me because we now have a fridge in our garage, and I'm like, we'll just unload this. I got 4 frozen pizzas, and they're like, I mean, we'd eat that in a night, but we're like, no, we limit ourselves to 2 frozen pizzas now. Like, you get a little piece and a side dish. That's all I could find. And my one kid will only eat cheese pizza, not a single cheese pizza to be found. Well,
he or she is going to have to pick it off.
I was working here in my office, and they come to this door and they're like, Mom, what's for dinner? And I was like, and the one kid's like, can we have pizza, please? And I was like, all right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go into the garage fridge. You're going to get 2 pepperoni pizzas out of the Costco box. You're going to take half of the pepperoni, on one of the pizzas and distribute them.
Which is only like 3 pepperonis.
Oh, no.
No. Costco pepperoni pizzas are actually.
Oh
my
yeah,
husband eats-
okay.
Pepperoni
Before
pizza
this was
guy.
breaking out, we started
Yeah.
talking about getting a membership. So I
Oh,
don't know anything.
Kirkland.
yeah.
Okay.
So spread that pepperoni across the one pizza and the side of the other one. And then Ben gets his cheese pizza first.
I see.
Oh my God.
Just to let you know, Vince, we buy those pepperoni pizzas here in the house,
Yeah.
and then we go, oh, we have onion, oh, we have bacon, oh, we have black olives. We start loading the sucker, becomes a carrier, but it is better with pepperoni. Anyway. 4 pepperoni pizzas for $11 US.
Yeah.
That's what we pay. So
That's not
it
bad.
becomes a meal, like you say, the $4 salad, bag of salad next to it. Now we have a quick meal done in the store. So.
Well, I remember when we were in Vancouver and we hooked up on the Sunday before Project World, and you were like, "There's a Costco nearby. Let's go." and so
we're such dorks. We will totally do that.
And so we went there, and then I think you said, "So you can bring me in as your guest." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, you can bring me in as your. I'm like, "I don't have a membership," and you were flabbergasted. Like, how do you not have a membership? How do you? What sacrilege is this? You don't have a membership.
Like, I have 4 kids, and for the longest time, we didn't have a Costco membership. And somebody was like, "Okay, if anybody on the planet needs a Costco membership, I mean,
well, that's why. Like, we're 2, right? 2 kids. So we were looking at getting a membership because it's only like $50 or something, $60 Canadian, which is not terrible.
No.
But we just then this madness broke out, and we didn't get to. So
yeah."
Speaking of madness, has anyone else had everything canceled for the spring?
Yeah.
How's that? Like, we were supposed to be in Disney next week.
Don't even start with me.
We were supposed to be. No, I'm pissed at this. We were supposed to be.
I actually have a reservation to build droids at Star Wars Land with my super fabulously wonderful business partner, and we were going to build droids. And I'm pissed.
Oh.
I haven't canceled it yet. I have the tickets bought for our little gang. I bought them. So as of right now, I've got 5 flippin' one-day tickets to Disney purchased under a certain number of names, and some of you people know who you are. So Vince was invited, and I think Vince was threatened with divorce if he did it.
No. Well, so I had already booked my travel. I'd already made my plans.
Yeah.
And so I have now. This is the we're talking about Project World Orlando. It has been
which we love, and everyone should come and see all of us there because
absolutely.
Let's be honest.
But it's
October. Come see
It's
us.
been rescheduled to October.
Yep.
Jen, so that you know,
oh yeah,
I have scheduled to fly in on Saturday now instead of Sunday, which means I have Sunday for Star Wars Land, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
we're going.
Galaxy's Edge.
I'm good. Galaxy's Edge. We're going. Like, I'm going. This was not planned. We're going. I have been threatened with divorce if I bring another lightsaber home, because
I could not get a reservation for the build your own lightsaber. Those go faster.
Yeah. No, but you remember, like, when we went last time.
Oh.
When you and I and Paul went, right.
It got.
Oh my gosh.
It has. So the batteries have been taken out. So we're thinking about moving, and so this had been on. There's a window over here.
I feel totally uncool right now, by the way, guys.
Oh
my, Jamie, can you imagine? Some of you guys, BA geek, the BA geeks of the world. So Vince and myself and my business partner Paul all went out to dinner, and then we're walking through one of the stores at Disney Springs, and we're like, we need lightsabers, but we had dinner reservations. So we're like, we are not going to build our lightsabers. We're going to go eat dinner. Then we went back and we built a total of 4 lightsabers, and we were like small children. I mean, we were very, oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how I built mine, Jen?
I can't remember.
I went Jedi because you guys were in there. You and
Oh,
Paul
I
were
was totally based on looks. It was
you got no. That's not what I mean.
Demanded to have the purple one, by the way.
That's not what I mean. You and Paul were like taking out the little. Oh, let me take this little hilt. Oh, should I get this one or should I get this one? Which one is cooler? I went Jedi, and I stuck my hand in the bin and I pulled one out.
You let the wand.
I let the universe build it, and each time it was like, this pommel that I found, it was the only one in there. Each piece that I found was like the only one in there.
Pommel, I do remember. I was like, "Is it the only one?"
It's the only one, and then, like I just plunged my hand in, I grabbed one and I pulled it out, and each time, and this is what I ended up with, and I got red for my daughter, that's her favorite color, but every other piece. My only regret is not building a double-edged one for $10 more. But anyways, like I have been threatened with legal action if I bring another one home.
Okay, so I'll make sure that doesn't happen. But if you're going to get a ticket to go to do Star Wars Galaxy Edge, and this was totally we're going to go do Galaxy's Edge. That is our primary objective.
Yes.
We're not talking about let's go to all the parts. No, this was Star Wars, only Star Wars. That's all we cared about.
Yes.
And let me tell you, if you guys want, for people out there who have never done this, or if you want to understand what project management is like at all, or analysis paralysis, oh my God, try to figure out how to do 3 Disney Fast Passes, a lunch reservation, and droid building with the wild card of we want to get there at the crack of dawn so we can get into a boarding group for the one big ride oh my God. Once I finally got the okay from all of the adult, and I'm planning this for a group of adults. So right now I have 5
and one more.
Yeah. So as of right now, you're not part of my group though.
No.
I think I'm going to have to buy another ticket to add you.
No.
I'm going to have to, because then our lunch reservation. So oh my God, Bob and I, we were working together and we were talking about food.
Come on.
I mean, talking about figuring out just a dinner reservation or a lunch reservation, any kind of, Bob has a favorite restaurant at Hollywood Studios. So he really wanted to eat there. So, and I was having trouble. So Bob and I have the reservation to do droid building. And I'm super crazy excited about it. And apparently like, I have a friend who just came back from Disney, like right before all this craziness hit. And she posted pictures of her kids building the droids and playing with the droids. And I was like, tell me, is it worth it? And she's like, oh my God.
See, I didn't know it was a thing. I thought it was just lightsabers, but I'm looking it up right now.
It's a little more pricey. So I still actually currently have the It's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
Right.
I was able to get the reservation. I had a reservation for 3 and reduced it to 2, but that's also in April. And I haven't canceled it yet.
That's so cool.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I don't care. $100? I'm in.
You can do an RR unit or a B.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I'm in.
And so so after this, Vince and I are going to talk about adding him to
After this. We don't have to talk about that.
Because honestly, like trying to get some of those, I mean, I literally have to call them. But for right now, since Disney is closed until the end of March.
Yeah. And probably beyond.
Yeah. And see, they haven't said the and beyond yet. So they haven't.
Well, because you guys are reopening for Easter, right?
They don't give. Oh my gosh. Y'all saw the Canadian's face there, right? According to what I see on screen.
Yep. Y'all are kooky, but whatever. Sorry, keep going there, Jen.
So I have changed my travel stuff. I have, for the conference, I got all of that taken care of and moved around. I have not handled my personal plans yet, simply because, and I mean, let's talk about the gamble that I'm doing here. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the longer I wait to make some of those decisions, it's actually playing out in my favor, because I was supposed to be in Brussels today. I was supposed to land in Brussels at 8 a.m. Brussels time.
Oh.
Wow. I was supposed to leave yesterday. for a BA and Beyond conference in Brussels, and that got
Yeah, I heard.
And I was like, as soon as this started hitting, people were talking about, they're like, I wouldn't go. And I was like, I'm not going to decide yet. Because if I cancel, I'd be out of the money.
Yeah.
If I change it, like, am I just going to randomly go to Brussels? Well, I'd love to be able to say I will randomly go to Brussels, but let's be honest. I have a business. Yeah. I mean, I have to work. I have to be at a client site. I have to be training. I have to be doing this. Otherwise, I don't get paid. So hence, the whole impact conversation. And so I've been waiting as long as possible. And a lot of the airlines are waiving change and cancellation fees. So I at least have a voucher for that.
Yeah.
So Brussels was taken care of. I've been adjusting other stuff. Sounds like my family's going to come to DC though.
Yay.
I'm excited about that.
Cool. That's in August, right?
August.
Yeah. I rebooked that one.
See, I can't rebook that one yet because I don't think it's within the window.
Yeah, so it was outside the window for me, but it was only like a $50 change. So like, the dates have moved. So what am I going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to chime in here because that was the thing to your point about waiting in your favor. Mm-hmm. Is I waited, and then they went from only if you booked it within these periods to then when I go in there, it's all the ones, no matter when I booked it. So moving all my flights now is completely free.
Like, let's talk about business rules here for a second. Let's look at that, because like, that's why I am looking so carefully about the tickets to the Disney park.
Right.
There's right now, the last I saw, and I checked it like 2-3 days ago, because I'm like, dude, I mean, I literally bought, I spent $700 on 1-day single park tickets for 5 people. Because I bought them, so I have a group, and so I'm doing the organizing. Mm-hmm. And a couple of people are just along for the ride. I've got Bob and Paul are like, this is what we're gonna do. It's awesome. I got multiple stakeholders with totally different personalities. It's crazy. And I mean, I've been like, I'll call somebody and be like, okay, so this is what I think I can do. It's nuts. Yeah. And I won't get a refund on the park tickets. I still will have to use them. So we still have to go.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. But I have other things. Like I don't know if I can move it yet because it's outside of the window right now. Mm. And so I want to call and say, all right, this is what I need help with. And I just have to be prepared to sit on hold. And okay.
Yeah, I still have a couple of things that I need to move. But Jamie, I think you were supposed to be in like on the West Coast this week or something, right?
Well, I had San Diego in March. I actually still have a trip scheduled for April to West Coast.
Oh.
Because they only canceled everything up till March 31st while they were figure things out. So that's what everyone's like, well, you're not going in April. I go, well, I'm 99% sure I'm not. But again, until I have something in writing that comes down that says it's done, because it's way easier. Like you say, go to the airlines. Here's my note. They canceled because of COVID. Give me my money. I don't want the money to sit for a future flight. I want my money back. Because sure enough, I'm actually value proposition. I got a little note. I just read my email where I'm kind of interesting. They're reworking the conference and they're putting it along with another one. And if you were already scheduled to speak at that other conference, you're included in coming to the rescheduled date.
Oh.
If you're not, now you have to email them again to be considered to have your same presentation done. I'm like, wait a minute, you already picked me. I was planning to go. I worked some things. Now I'm being told I might not get to go now because you rescheduled. It's like, wait, why is it my fault?
Yeah. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
So I'm not sure, but yeah, it's that same part there. Maybe it's the question here for us nerds on this. What can you do and what can't you do? What's in your scope of control and what's not? Mm-hmm. It's not me to make decisions. So why should I, and again, this comes back to worry. Am I reacting versus just analyzing, okay, do I know some options? And this is where I love talking about being agile. I'm only going to worry about those things closest to me now.
Yep.
Don't make a decision now if I don't need to. I'll have some awareness and put it in the backlog and know it's there for like, okay, you need to be thinking about this.
Below the waterline of the iceberg. That's the way I talk about the backlog being an iceberg, or that you're driving in fog or a snowstorm or whatever, something like that. And so if you think about the iceberg And the stuff at the top of the iceberg we know the most about and we focus on first, and then we work our way down. Waterline is usually where somebody that's a BA-like person is doing their work. Stuff that's below the waterline, we know it's there. Maybe we know it's like squishy shaped like this, and or it's bigger or whatever. But we know it's there, but we don't. I don't care yet.
Yeah,
until I can see it.
It's the whole idea of just in time, right? From that we take from Lean. Like, I'm going to worry about the things that I need to worry about now. When it comes to travel, though, I tend to be more like I tend to plan. So
you're traditional based?
No, I mean, I'm not calling a travel agent, but like, I like to have my seat selected in advance. I don't want to pick my seat 24 hours before. So like, I will pay the extra money to pick a seat. I still have to cancel my hotel for Orlando. I had to pay a change fee for DC because it was outside of the window. So right now, Air Canada was only doing up to April 30th, and the conference was the first week of May. Yeah. But the way I looked at it was the dates moved. Like, whether there's a change fee or there's not, I have to rebook it. And so
I'm not going. So
I'm not going. So like, and fortunately, I had the fare that I bought allowed me to change. There was no fare change. So like, I was just paying a $50 fee. Whereas for Orlando, to move it from April to October, there was a fare difference. And so I ended up paying like an extra like $150, which, like, again, what are you going to do? Like, I have to be there.
Now, the other thing that I was thinking about this the other day and I am one of those people who I rarely buy travel insurance. And part of that is I never pay for extended warranties, extended coverage on risk management, right? When it comes to, I just bought a new fridge. Am I going to buy the 5-year extended warranty for the $200? No. I mean, I have never.
The suckers play,
right? I mean, it's no. So do you spend the $40 or whatever on travel insurance? And what I haven't checked, and I can't remember which of those flights, because every once in a while I'll do it and I don't know why. It's like I've lost my mind or something. I don't have a blanket, because usually I say no and I don't do it.
Right.
But I'm wondering, so the airlines are relaxing a lot of those rules around, they're waiving change fees. They're allowing you to cancel and then just get essentially the full price. As an e-credit, it's not just, here's your money back. No, you still have to fly, and you have to fly by a certain time, which, I mean, risk management for them, that makes sense. So I don't know if there's something about the insurance piece or whatever. I haven't done that analysis. I don't know if it's worth it. I want somebody else to do that analysis for me and tell me what I should be doing.
So, I mean, and here's the thing. So I do have travel insurance, but it's because we get free, like not free, but we have healthcare in Canada. And we are not covered outside of the country. And so I do have it so that if, knock on wood,
if
something does happen, it's as if I'm home.
Over your BB-8 unit, your BB unit at
I'm gonna get an R unit. I think I'm not gonna go. I'm not a big fan of BB-8.
I want an R unit as well. Anyway,
but so I get it as if I'm home, and so I don't have to. You know what I mean? So I don't walk out of the hospital with a $40,000 invoice. I'm good. So that's my risk mitigation. But that's the Canadian way.
The Canadian way.
So we've got like 90 seconds left. We've been talking for almost an hour. This was awesome, guys. So we definitely got to do this again. Anything you want to plug or talk about or say in the last minute that we've got? Jamie, we'll start with you. And how can people get a hold of you if they watched this far?
Okay, if they've watched this far, LinkedIn, easiest thing right now, LinkedIn, because then we get to be social, we get to be sharing, and I think that's what I love is I'm not on there as much as I want to be. I know that because there's so much good stuff out there. So I think this is great. Just one more venue to share stuff. And back to you, Vince. Even I was thinking about that. People have been asking, and it stuck with me. Do one thing If it takes you 20 minutes, it takes you 8 hours. To me right now, because then I turn around and go, well, look what I did today. Like, dang, like that's awesome. I did one thing.
Finish that bottle, man. Finish that
and
bottle.
I have this. So this, I have 44 of 133 sections written. And so, that's what I need to pick away at. And that hasn't changed in 2 weeks. So you're right. I maybe need to do one a day and take 10 minutes and get it done. But
yeah, just do one thing. And so I guess that's the part with me, because like you say, we can look at our conversation here. Any one thing we picked and we can take it in a million directions and go do so much with it. So
but even this is one thing.
It is.
Like this is one. So now you get to say you were on the debut and maybe only episode of Analysts After Work.
It could just be us. We invite other people.
Well, I mean, I want to share the love, but but I definitely want to have you guys back on at some point. So Jen, what about you? Where can people get you?
So I agree. LinkedIn is probably really easy. I agree. So I'm totally with Jamie that I'm not on there nearly as much as I should be. I wish I was posting there more often. I am part of the Uncommon League, and we are launching some, I can cuss here, right? Some kick-ass stuff that's coming out. We're launching a new website very soon, and that's like what I'm supposed to be working on right now. We're doing an uplift, which is going to be super awesome. We're kicking off some free webinars that I'm super excited about, and building in some other really great opportunities for people to engage. And I will say all three of us that are on this conversation right now, we've all written books, or we've been contributors to books or whatever. And I feel you and the whole 44 of 133. We have a new update to the Uncommon Book of Analysis Techniques that's going to be coming out.
That's a monster book.
So right now, the current version that you can get as of this precise moment of March 25th, 2020, you can get more than 150 techniques. It's a PDF. It will never be printed, because I always joke that you need like a little 2-wheel cart to carry it around. It's not going to be printed. It's completely virtual and searchable. And so you get your own PDF, but you also get like perpetual updates.
Right.
We've got another update that's scheduled to come out. I'm going to say a week and a half from now is what it's supposed to be. And that's going to add another 30 to 40-ish techniques.
Wow.
And the release after that they're roughly like every other month or so. So I'm totally with the events. I'm also, not only is it about just one thing, but figure out what works for you and what works best. There are some people out there who are like, I have a very detailed Trello board for working on that techniques book.
Right.
Very detailed, very organized. When I got into, I can't even reach one. When I started doing this instead, it's, and actually more of like.
Oh yeah, you can see them over my shoulder. There's sticky notes up on my wall.
I did this and I put them across a wall in my house. My kids would walk by and they're like, "Mom, what's duck duck?" And I was like, "I got to write that." They're like, "Well, what do you mean?" And then I started explaining it to them, because I'm a mom and I'm always teaching my children. I don't know if you do that, but I do.
Yeah.
And at one point my husband said, if you would just write down what you just told them, it'd be
just
done.
Record yourself. Yeah.
So figure out what works for you, because what works for Vince does not work for me, and what works for me does not work for Jamie.
And that's the attitude that I'm trying to take with this. Is yes, I agree with you, Jamie. Do one thing, but we're in an unprecedented time, and I don't feel like working right now. Sorry. I don't, for my employer that may be listening, I'm working. I don't feel like working on some of my own projects. I'm not mentally in that state right now.
Minimum viable. We're getting what we have to do, because we have our attention is going to so many places.
I feel so distracted. So I'm also not beating myself up for not doing it. Right.
Yes.
So, because I know that those 44 that I did write, are done. Like, they're done. And I did that in a couple of weeks. So it's not like this is I'm completely off the rails.
Yeah. Or you figured out what doesn't work. You figured out 1, 2, 3, 10 things that don't work. So at least during
pandemics, I don't like to work on things.
I think we're
All right.
there.
Well, I think we'll end there. This has been an amazing time, guys. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in person.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Stay healthy, people.
See ya.
Like,
Yeah,
and if
you
you're stay home.
Yes, stay home.
Bye, everybody.